There have been two double-digit spreads in the Final Four since 2003. North Carolina against Syracuse, they were 10-point favorites. Gonzaga by 14 versus UCLA in 2021. Right now you have Alabama getting 12 against Connecticut, NC State getting 9 versus Purdue. He's the head basketball coach at Connecticut. They've got Alabama coming up on Saturday. Danny Hurley back on the program. When's the last time you shot hoops?
Yesterday.
How'd you do?
Well, the half court shots and the 3/4 court shots, I got off to a slow start, but my threes and my free throws and finishing over my son and the managers was pretty sharp.
Okay. But have you put on a clinic before? Were you ever the best shooter on your team?
I was the best shooter in high school. I was the best shooter in the Hurley house too, growing up. Not non-pressure. I had trouble taking it from the country village courts to the big stadiums.
Okay. But did Bobby give you grief though when you're having shooting contests that he knew that he could get to you?
Oh, absolutely. Bob was a master. Bob was a master at the art of mental warfare, and was an incredible ability to get under your skin and to get you mad. And there's no better competitor than that man.
But did you adopt some of that? Do you take that into your coaching philosophy?
Oh, absolutely. I think just growing up in the family, there's aspects that you find out about yourself that now you see some things from your dad, some things, from your brother that rubbed off on you, positive and negative. The intensity, the passion, the competitiveness, I think the endurance, there's also empathy.
Does tough love still work in college basketball? Well, it's working for you. Would you describe it as tough love?
Yeah, I think so. I think tough love, honesty, but I think the players will only allow that tough love and that radical, brutal honesty about where exactly everything sits with them, both in their career, their value, what they're bringing to a team. If they know that you do love them, you have a real relationship. They know that you pour everything you got into them in terms of time and in terms of, just giving them everything you got. But then you also, you got to have old souls. You got to have kids that have old school parents, old school high school coaches that are going to support you when stuff starts to go sideways.
And you brought this up before, looking at the model that you guys have, the blueprint, and that you've sort of based this off Jay Wright with Villanova. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, culture. The style of play is different at both ends, but from a cultural standpoint, that's the gold standard.
Do you watch the games last night?
I did. I especially was focused. I caught the second half of Iowa and LSU because I spent a dinner with Kim Mulkey last April, but I was locked in on my Huskies. Let's go, Gino.
Who's more intense, you or Kim Mulkey?
She's intense. She got at my neck, man. I wasn't. I knew her. I knew of her. I knew her. The whole deal, all of her success. But it hit me like a tidal wave when I met her. She was intense.
But how did it surprise you? I mean, you've seen her before when she coaches.
Yeah, but generally when people meet me, they say, or at least my wife tells me, that her friends always say, wow, I thought I didn't think he'd be normal. He seems like a pretty normal guy away from his work, and in just regular settings. But I didn't see that with Coach.
She had no off switch, is what you're saying?
Not that night.
But do you ever have your dad or your wife who might say, hey, slow down or calm down, or anybody sort of the lifeguard on duty with you?
Yeah, I think me and Bob, my dad doesn't have credibility because he modeled being a monster a lot of most of my life. So, like that's do what I say, not as I did type of situation. Bob, I think me and Bob try to talk each other off the ledge, so to speak. But the weird thing about us is like we're never both down or up at the same time. So it's like when one of us is playing well, the other one's struggling. So, but we support each other. It has to be my mom, not my mom, my wife, and then the agent sometimes will step in if if I'm over the top, obviously getting into it with fans on the way out of arenas, or maybe too much with the referees. Then the agent will come in and say, "Hey, you're going too far."
We're talking to Dan Hurley, Connecticut head basketball coach. Wait a minute, your dad was a model monster on the sidelines? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he used to go up in there if people were yelling at him and flipping him off or catcalling him. I've witnessed on more than one occasion at least two or three hard steps into the bleachers. I've never seen him, yoke someone up, but my my dad is one of the greatest coaches of his generation. I mean, he was a master, and he mastered as many things as possible. But his intensity is absolutely legendary.
If I hadn't seen UConn play, how would you describe your style?
I think it's aesthetically, pleasing. We'll play with pace in terms of getting up and down with teams that want to run. You see, I think at the offensive end, like the ball moving, players moving, an approach to offense where we're just trying to get two on the ball and let the defense tell us where the ball needs to go next. We haven't shot it well yet in the tournament, so I'm excited for us to shoot it well in Arizona. But I think we shoot threes, we dunk. We get on both backboards. We defend with intensity. Our bench is live, not just me. We just bring an energy to the arena that I think is old school in terms of the culture.
What was it like first time you met Bill Murray?
Um, Surprising. Just every time you meet him, I think he's in a different. His personality is maybe in like a different place. Sometimes he's funny, sometimes he's super laid back, sometimes he's fired up for the game. I was surprised how much film he watched with us last year during the March and April run. I was surprised that he loves ball that much. He was watching like 6 or 7, San Diego State games.
Wait. He's in film with
He
you?
was last year in Houston, and a rumor has it I'm superstitious. So I was surprised that I let him stay in the room because he had never been in there. And usually I'm trying to remove newcomers, uh, especially when it's going good. But he's such a big star. And Luke's been so critical to my success. I don't want to throw his dad out.
Yeah, Luke, Bill's son, is an assistant with Danny. But this whole idiosyncrasy, superstition. Have you seen somebody for it?
I've been bounced around. Um, no one's consistently kind of kept me under their care. I think that once they start to, hear about all these things stacking up, they lose. I'm like a hopeless cause, I guess, for them. I find it to be. I don't know. I look at it like it was like Steve Jobs would wear like a jeans and a white shirt, or it's like I don't have to make that many decisions about what to do because a lot of my superstitions just kind of line me up to the game. Like I don't have to pack or figure out what I'm packing for this trip because I'm bringing the same exact stuff that I brought to New York for the Big East tournament, that I brought to Brooklyn for the first 2 rounds, that I brought to Boston for the Sweet 16 and Elite Eight. So the positive part is I don't have to make a lot of decisions. I just bring everything I brought.
Your wife doesn't go crazy with this?
She's half Greek, she's half Italian. She's from Jersey. Her parents were born in Jersey City. Like if there was one person on earth that was absolutely made to love and manage me and to keep me upright and functioning at a high level. It's Andrea Hurley.
I don't know if you read the Yukon magazine that comes out monthly, but I have a guy here on my staff, Marvin, who went to Connecticut, and he was featured in there. So I don't know if you saw it. I'm guessing you didn't. I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't read the article, but if Yukon wins the national title, could I get Marvin maybe in the parade?
Oh, absolutely. I know Marvin. I see Marvin's mom all the time too.
Oh,
Yes, that's right. Yes. Yes, she's everywhere.
Marvin's mom all the time in Hartford and all over the place. So Marv, I can't promise you're going to be on float 1A, but I could, I think that there's float 1B. I could definitely hold you a spot.
Oh, I'll take it. Me and Klingon. Yeah, of course.
Oh, Klingon's going to be on 1B, huh?
No.
Hey, he might be on 1A. I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
Marv does not understand.
Yeah, Marv, you got to know your place here, and you got to know your place there.
So 1B.
Support staff.
All right, bet. I'll take
not
it.
the main characters.
Oh, I'm taking it.
Hey, great to catch up with you. I got a chance to spend time with your dad last year at his condo, and I walked by, and my son lived in the same building. He goes, "Hey, do you know Bob Hurley?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "He lives right there." I go, "Wait, the coach?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "How do you know Bob Hurley?" He goes, "Dad, that's Bob Hurley." He goes, "I'll knock on the door." Knocks on the door. Your dad comes to the door, and your dad goes, "Holy bleep, let me put my teeth in." So I walked in and spent probably 45 minutes with your dad just talking. And it was wonderful because he was laid back. He might have been watching Judge Judy by himself. And we just talked basketball. And it was fun. It was a great experience to just have him talk, whether it's high school, college, how he raised those kids, how he raised you guys, what it's like to coach now. Transfer portal, all of those things. So had an enjoyable time. So
yeah, he's still coaching. He still runs his program after school, and he's still coaching 5 days a week. And I'm glad that he moved on to Judge Judy, because I was watching Gunsmoke for a while, and that was freaking me out a little bit.
Good luck. Great to talk to you, and thanks for joining us,
Dan. Thanks, man. Pleasure being on.
That's Dan Hurley, Connecticut head basketball coach, and they got Saturday. They face Alabama.